right, I'm Mrs. Hassler here. I'm going to do the explore for 3.3 and 3.4. These two ideas really go together, so I'm just going to go ahead and combine them together. It says every year, Tiffany and her twin brother Todd get gifts from their grandmother for their birthday. This year, Tiffany's card has a $20 bill in it and 2 Visa gift cards. Todd's card has $35 in cash and 1 Visa gift card. So Tiffany complains that the gifts aren't fair. Do you agree with her? Why or why not? And so the students at the board discussed this and they said, well, I understand what Tiffany's thinking. She got fewer amount in terms of cash, but we don't really know it's on the gift card. So it's kind of hard to tell whether this is fair or not. And so in 2 it says, Tiffany's grandma says that their gifts have equal value, not the gift cards, their gifts have equal value. And so I'm just going to circle the gifts have equal value. Assuming each gift card has the same amount of money on it, what must be the value of the Visa gift card? Okay, so now I can say, well, the gift card is going to have the same amount of money on it. What must be the value of the gift card? And so if the gift card has the same amount of money on it, then I can just indicate a variable to represent that. I'll call it X. X is the amount of money on each gift card. Since it's the same amount on each gift card, then each gift card has X number of dollars on it. And so I can set up an equation to kind of help me with this, right? I have Tiffany's gift is $20, and she has 2 Visa gift cards. I also know that because the gifts have equal value, I can set Tiffany's gift equal to Todd's gift. And Todd's gift was $35, but he only had 1 Visa gift card. And so I can then, solve this equation like we've been practicing in class. My suggestion is always to eliminate the variable on one of those sides if I can do that. When I do that, the X's on the right go away, and I have 20 plus X. On the left side equals 35. I'm going to subtract 20 on both sides to get that X by itself. When I do that, I get that X is 15. Now remember, the X represents the money on the gift cards. There's $15 on each gift card. We can always go back and check that, right? I can say, well, 20 plus 2 times 15 should equal 35 plus 15. And if I check both of those, I get $50 total spent by Grandma. So then it says, the following year, Tiffany gets $25 and 1 box of candy. Todd gets $20 and 5 boxes of candy. Their grandmother assures them she spent the same amount on each gift. What is the price of a box of candy? So again, I don't know what something is. I'm trying to find it. So this is going to be, X is going to be the cost of a box of candy. Notice that I'm identifying what my variable is going to represent. My variable is going to represent what the question is asking us to find. So again, Grandma says she spent the same amount on each gift. So for Tiffany, she gave her $25 and 1 box of candy. Todd got $20, but he got 5 boxes of candy. And then I'm just going to go through and, again, solve. My advice is always to get rid of the X's, and I would not subtract 5X from both sides to do that. I would subtract 1X from both sides to do that. And so I get 25 equals 20 minus 4X. Plus 4X. I'm going to subtract 20 on both sides. Kind of out of space here. I apologize. I get 5 equals 4X. And if I divide by 4, I get that X is 1.25. Now, again, let's think about what that X represents. It represents the cost of a candy box or a box of candy. So this should have a label of $1.25. Each box costs $1.25. Forces the year after, Tiffany got $15 and 2 pairs of socks. Todd got $10 and 2 pairs of socks. Is it possible for their grandmother to have spent the same amount on each gift? Well, I feel like I have to make an assumption here. I feel like the assumption is, without them telling me, that she spent the same amount of money on each pair of socks. So if I'm going to make that assumption, then it kind of feels like there's no way that these gifts could have cost the same amount, right? If I have $15 plus 2 pairs of socks, so X, the cost of socks. So we'll say X is cost of socks. And then I have $10 plus 2 more pairs of socks. Assuming those 2 socks cost the same, if I eliminate those from the gift, then Tiffany got 15 and Todd only got 10. So no, it's not possible for them to, for grandma to have spent the same amount on each twin. So after we did these at the board, we came back to our seats and we worked through the check your understanding. And then we went through these in class. So I'll do, just 2 of these, and then I'll let you set up a couple and give it a try on your own. I'll do this first one here. It says Kylan and Avi are at a summer carnival. Kylan buys 8 raffle tickets. Avi buys ice cream for $3.50 and 6 raffle tickets. They both end up spending the same amount of money. What is the cost of a raffle ticket? So again, I'm going to pick a variable out here. Sometimes I like to pick the variable that matches what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find the cost of a raffle ticket. So instead of calling my variable X, I'm actually going to call my variable R. I also know that Kylan and Avi's amount of money spent is the same. So I also think it's helpful to say, I need a scenario for Kylan, I need a scenario for Avi, and they're the same amount of money being spent from each of them, so I can set their 2 situations equal to each other. So Kylan buys 8 raffle tickets. That's it. That's the only amount of money that Kylan spends. So 8 times the cost of each raffle ticket, 8R. That should equal Avi's situation. Avi spends money on ice cream, $3.50, and buys 6 raffle tickets. So the total amount that Avi spends is $3.50 plus 6 raffle tickets purchased, so 6 times R. And then my job is to solve this to figure out how much a raffle ticket costs, right? That's the question. What is the cost of a raffle ticket? And R represents the cost of a raffle ticket. So I'm going to start solving. I'm going to subtract 6R on both sides. I get 2R equals $3.50. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And I get that R is 1.75. Now I should put a label on this to answer my question. So remember, it says, what is the cost of a raffle ticket? R represents that cost, and that cost would then be $1.75. Okay, I'm actually going to skip 2 and 3, and I'm going to jump over to problem 4. All right, problem 4 says Corey buys dog food in a 34-pound bag. Her dog eats about 1 pound a day. Corey buys cat food in a 16-pound bag, and her cat eats about 1/4 pound a day. Assume she buys new bags of pet food on the same day. On which day will the 2 bags have the same amount of weight? Okay, so we're starting off with each brand new fresh bag of either dog food or cat food. It's asking me on which day. So I'm actually going to choose D, and D represents the day. Which day number? Is it after 2 days, after 10 days, after 15 days? Will they have the same weight to them? Again, I like to say, well, I'm looking for the when the weight of the dog food is equal to the weight of the cat food. And this helps me think about the scenario that I have to set up. So the dog food is a 34-pound bag, but the dog is eating a pound a day. So I'm actually going to subtract 1 pound each day because the dog is eating it. Equals, well, the cat has a 16-pound bag to start with, but the cat is eating 1/4 pound each day. So I'm going to say minus 1/4, a quarter per day. You could also say 0.25 instead of 1/4. And then your job is to solve, right? So I would choose to add 1 to each side, 1D. I prefer to work with positive variables when I can, and adding 1D to each side allows me to have 34 equal to 16 plus negative 0.25 plus 1 is positive 0.75, or you could say 3/4. I'll just go decimal form so it'll be easier to calculate here. I'm going to subtract 16 on both sides. 34 minus 16 is 18, equal to 0.75D. And then I'm going to divide by 0.75. When I do that, I get that D is equal to 24. Now let me go back and look at the question. It says on which day? So on day 24, 24 days after she purchases this food, the bags will weigh the same. Again, I can always go back and check this by substituting 24 back into my equations, right? 34 minus 24 gives me 10. And over here I have 16 minus 1/4 times 24. Well, 1/4 of 24 is 6, and 16 minus 6 is 10. And so I found the right answer. Okay, and then you can give your try at problem 5. So 2, 3, and 5, go ahead and give that a try. And if you have questions, let me know.